So a quick snapshot of where we are on the Mark III Classic Mini rebuild. Last time we were messing around with this rear valance. We got it all welded on, and then we were looking at the 3 different overlapping panels we had on this seam, which one to choose, how many bumper holes were we going to have, which bit do we cut down. I think everyone's going to be different, so don't take this as gospel, but let's just have a look at how much better it's looking. I've got a nice curve coming along there, nice shape around there, a defined hole which needed a bit of drilling out, and a bit of carbide cutting in there, angled ground overlapping bits and bobs along here to try and keep a parallel line. There's a little bump there to where there used to be a hole for a 5-bolt bumper fixing, but I've welded these up and just finished them down. There is some little, when I've had to fill this step in the different panels, there are some little bits and pieces, but you just got to be careful. If you start trying to fill these ends up with weld on the very edge, you can spend so much time chasing your tail, blowing holes in and eating into the metal and bits melting off that you didn't want to melt off. So I've called it a day there, and I'm just going to use a bit of fine filler to get that level around there. So yeah, runs nice and true around the remainder of the valance. Another little bump there for the closed off hole I'm not going to be using. It's nicely round there, bumps out there for a nice round hole for the other bumper bolt, and then almost a good finish across there. The underside is pretty similar, probably need a bit of fine filler on there, and I've welded up that exhaust hole that was in the edge, as I said I was going to do. So I've got a centre exit exhaust. Rear booty area is looking tidy. Again, you can keep welding forever. You can keep being very meticulous with dropping little bits of weld in little tiny holes. You see little bits of daylight through certain areas. I mean, there was a big repair panel in there, and I just there's probably one, you know, atom-sized hole still in there I can see light through, but it's so difficult to weld in that area, and the metal's quite thin. You just end up blowing another massive hole, and you just keep going over and over the same things. So at some point you've got to call it a day and rely on some seam sealer and a bit of fine filler just to cover it up. Structurally, it's, you know, it's stronger than it would have been coming out the factory, but you know, you look at this, it looks a bit Frankenstein at the moment with all these repair panels and things, but a bit of clever crafting with some seam sealer. It'll look good. Again, there was always little bits of holes that I've had to try and fill in, welding over the top of a bit of copper block. It just goes on and on. So again, you can carry on. I could have carried on trying to drop in little tiny bits of weld around this new wheel arch seam, but again, you just keep doing it over and over. When it's nice and thick now. There's a couple of little dimples from the spot welder still left. Repair panel is nice and flush. Rear quarter repair panel is nice and flush. Yeah, pleased with it. As I said, you can just carry on doing little bits of infilling welding, aesthetical welding almost. But you've got to draw the line somewhere, and you know, it's soul destroying after a while. Just keep chasing your tail, blobbing bits of welding, when a bit of seam sealer will do the job. You just got to keep remembering what your project looked like when you first started it, and don't beat yourself up if you're that way inclined into moving on and moving forward. I should be on this, and you know, you'll be on a project until the day you die, so you've got to learn to draw the line. And at this, I've drawn the line, and now I want to move forward and get the front end rebuilt. Give the car a face, make it look like a round fronted Mini, give it a bit of personality, and that's what's going to be coming next.